My name is Lydia Harper. I'm 62 years old, and today, my daughter is getting married. The house smells like white roses and vanilla candles. Bridesmaids rush down the hallway, photographers flash, and laughter fills every corner. It's supposed to be the happiest day of my life. But my hands are trembling as I hold a small velvet box, the one I've been saving for 28 years. Inside it lies the gift I swore I'd give my daughter on her wedding day, a gold locket that once belonged to my mother, and her mother before that. 3 generations of love, loss, and womanhood. I always told myself Emily would wear it on the day she became a bride. But now, as I look at her laughing in the mirror, with her veil pinned perfectly and her eyes shining with excitement, I feel something heavy press against my heart. A secret I've carried for half my life, the truth that could destroy her smile forever. I close the box gently. My fingers tighten around it. And I whisper to myself. I promised her. I didn't know what I was promising at the time. I thought she meant I'd take care of her until she got better. But by the next morning, Grace was gone. A hemorrhage, the doctor said. Too much blood loss. Too late to save her. I stood in that hospital room, numb, staring at the baby who was now motherless. I didn't even realize I was crying until Charles wrapped his arm around me. He looked at the child, then at me, and whispered, "Let's take her home." We didn't tell anyone. Not the neighbors, not friends, not even my parents. It was the late 90s, adoption paperwork took time, and Grace hadn't even registered the birth properly. It was easier, in that moment, to say Emily was ours. That I had given birth quietly, away from the chaos. People believed it. Maybe because they wanted to. And so Emily became Emily Harper, our miracle. Our gift. The little girl who gave meaning back to our lives. For years, I convinced myself it was right. I told myself that love makes a mother, not blood. And in every way that mattered, Emily was mine. Her first word was, "Mama." Her first steps were toward me. When she scraped her knees, she ran into my arms. She looked at me like I hung the moon. But secrets are like cracks in glass, you can cover them for a while, but light always finds a way through. The first crack appeared when Emily turned 16. She had an assignment for school, a genealogy project. "Mom," she said one night at the kitchen table, "I need my birth certificate." My heart skipped. I had one, but it was fake. Charles had made it with a friend's help years ago. I handed it to her, smiling, hoping she wouldn't notice. But she did. "Why does it look different from Dad's?" she asked. "Old paper," I said quickly. "Hospitals used to print them that way." She shrugged, accepting it. Or maybe pretending to. But that night, I saw her staring at it again before she went. After that, she grew curious. She asked about my pregnancy stories, baby pictures, her delivery date. Little things. I dodged, changed the subject, told her I'd lost most of the photos in a flood. Each lie felt heavier than the last. I told myself it was to protect her. But deep down, I knew I was protecting myself. Then came her 18th birthday. She wanted to visit my sister's old town, the one where Grace had lived. "I just want to see where you grew up," she said. I agreed, though my stomach twisted. We visited the old neighborhood. Most people didn't recognize me after all these years. But when we stopped by the florist's shop, the woman behind the counter froze. "Lydia," she said. "You haven't aged a day. How's Grace's little girl doing?" My heart stopped. Emily turned to me slowly. "Grace's little girl," she repeated. I smiled weakly. "Oh, she means you. Grace always called you that because she loved you so much." The florist laughed, oblivious. Loved her? Grace adored that baby. Such a tragedy, her dying so young. I could feel Emily's eyes burning through me. She didn't say a word for the rest of the day. That night, she didn't come home. Charles and I searched everywhere. She returned at dawn, her face pale, her eyes red. She had gone to the town's records office. She had seen the birth certificate, Grace's name, not mine. "Why didn't you tell me?" she screamed. "Why did you lie to me my whole life?" I broke down. I told her everything, the night of the call, the promise, the loss. She didn't want to hear it. She packed a bag and left. For months, I heard nothing. Charles begged her to come home, but she wouldn't. When she finally did, she was colder. Distant. She called me Lydia instead of Mom. That broke me more than any argument. Then Charles got sick, lung cancer. Within a year, he was gone. And Emily came back for the funeral. She stood beside me, holding my hand. She didn't say much, but I felt something soften in her. Maybe grief makes forgiveness easier. Over time, she started visiting again. Slowly, painfully, we began to rebuild what I thought was lost. Still, there was always that invisible wall between us. The secret might have been told, but the hurt stayed. I understood. I had taken away her right to know who she was. And no matter how pure my intentions were, that wound was mine to carry. Now, all these years later, she's marrying a kind man named Daniel. He's gentle, patient, and loves her fiercely. Watching her with him reminds me so much of Grace and Mark, how full of light they once were before everything fell apart. As I sit here, clutching that gold locket, I think of what it really means. It belonged to my mother, then to Grace. It should have gone to her daughter. Maybe this is my chance to make things right. Maybe this is how I let go of the guilt. "Mom," Emily calls softly from behind me. I turn. She's radiant in her wedding dress. "You okay?" she asks. I force a smile. "Just thinking about how beautiful you are." She comes closer. "Is that the locket you always talked about?" I nod, opening the box. "It's yours," I whisper. She takes it, her fingers brushing mine. It's beautiful. For a moment, I want to tell her everything again, the truth, the story, the love behind that promise. But then I realize, she already knows. She's known for years. And maybe that's enough. She fastens the locket around her neck and looks at me through the mirror. "Thank you, Mom," she says quietly. Not Lydia. Mom. And just like that, the heaviness I've carried for decades begins to lift.